Have a list of users. None of them own any courses. There are a couple courses that we created. Right, so here we have courses. We have 3 courses, so we want to join them together somehow, right? Saying that certain courses belong to some other courses, so some folks, right? So let's do that. So for instance, what I'd like to be able to do is add a course to a faculty, right, or a user. So I might be able to do something like public user, something like add course to faculty or something. I don't know. And so for meaning I'm establishing a relationship between 2 entities that presumably already exist. The course exists, the faculty exists, right? These are 2 records that already exist. I just need to set up that relationship, meaning I am updating a foreign key of one of them pointing to the other. So to do that, I'm going to need both IDs of who are participating in this, right? So I'll need the integer of the faculty ID, and I'll need the course ID, right? And presumably I'm going to pass this in a parameter, get mapping, and says something like, add course, and this will be the course ID, and this will be to faculty, and then the faculty ID, Okay, and so I'm gonna have to map this over here. So this will be something like path variable, parse the faculty ID, and parse the course ID and map it into this integer over here. All right. So these are 2 objects that already exist in the database, right? So I'm going to go fetch them. So I fetch them, and it says, notice that I have the repository for the course. So I'll fetch that course. So course. So this will be the repository, find by ID, the course ID, right? And I'm just going to do the get, right? Now I need the faculty. Right? And but I don't have the repository, so I'm going to use the other repository as well to fetch the faculty. Right? So typically, what this would be in its separate controller, right? That deals with the relationships between the 2, right? That allows you to add a course, remove a course, right? And do anything that deals with the relationships of the 2 that needs both repositories, not in this course-specific controller. Right? There would be a controller specific that deals with the relationships of the 2. But anyway, so here we have user repository. So user repository. So I'm going to fetch the user, the faculty presumably, user faculty. So this will be the user repository, find by ID. Find by ID. And here is the faculty ID, .get. So I'm being lazy here. I'm not checking to see if it's null. Now, obviously, I would want to guard against all that, right? Once I have this, right, I can go both ways. I could put the course in a list and I could say faculty.set courses and pass in the list of courses with this one course. Or I can go the other way around. I could say course.set user, and then faculty. See that? I guess it's a little easier, right? And then I could just save the course. I could say repository.save the course. Save the course, right? And then this could maybe return just the user. So return. Return. Yeah, the user, I guess, the faculty. Okay. All right, so let's see what that does. See if that blows up. Where? What is it? Where?
Faculty ID, line 35.
Faculty. Oh, thank you. Yes, course ID. This would be course ID. Excellent. Thank you. All right, let's stop that. Oh, notice that it's been spitting out, right? All the queries. See that? All the SQL that it's been using to talk to a database, right? Underneath, and so you can debug and see if that query is actually what you want, right? So meanwhile, let's set up the query here, and the query is going to look something like that. I copy that and create a new. Here it's going to be local hosts 8080. And yes.
Will this code be available?
Yeah, I'll push this to GitHub. And so let's the course is 5200. So we'll say 1. And Alice, I think it's 1 as well. Oops. Is it running? Oh, wait, let me run it. Let's try that. Oops. What do I got here? Exception, blah, blah, blah. Null pointer exception. Course controller line 37. Course controller line 37. So this came back as null. Uh-oh. Faculty ID. The URL to faculty 1. Faculty ID. User repository. Let me see the IDs of the users. Alice is 1, isn't it? Alice is 1. So that means I did not find that user. Line 37. Error, blah, 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 blah. So this is a query that used, select course as blah, 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 course title as, user ID as, where course ID and user ID for Java null pointer with root cause, null pointer exception at line 37, yeah. Course control, line 37. I guess we could debug this. I guess we could do system.out.println and make sure that we have a faculty ID and that we have a course ID. What else could we look at this? Course, user faculty, user repository, find by ID, faculty ID, user repository. Oh, thank you. Yeah, AutoWire needs to be applied every single time on every single variable. Thank you. Yeah, so the null pointer was on the repository being null, right? Not that the ID was null. No, or the get returned null. Okay, let's run that. Let's try hitting that. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, notice that it came back, right? It went out, it did the update of that foreign key, and it returned the user, which had no courses, right? The user didn't have any courses. Notice that Alice didn't have any courses. See that, right? But because the foreign key of the user is now pointing to Alice, notice that now Alice is shown as having that course, right? So notice if we go to the database, the course, notice that the ID is null, was null, right? If we refresh that, notice that now it's pointing to Alice. Make sense? And the beauty here is that all the manipulation was done at the object world level, right? Nowhere did we have to manipulate any foreign keys, primary keys, or anything, right? It was all done underneath by using these setters, all right, these getters, right, all at the object world level.